Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Oh,
Jacques,
oh,
what's going on, sir?
man, can't call it, man. Quarantining and chilling.
Man, so much, dude, so much, man. I haven't watched this much Netflix in my life, man. I've been Netflixing it up, bro.
Netflix is getting boring, bro.
Yeah, just like me shaving right now, man. It's getting boring. That's why I ain't shaved in a minute, man.
You see me,
Yeah,
man. Woo, man. So I feel you, bro. Like it's.
yeah,
I said, I'm just gonna say this. Everybody stay safe. They
yep,
trying to open things back up. If you go out, wear your mask
yep.
and do what you got to do. I ain't here to tell anybody to stay down, sit down, but hey, as Lil Duval say, we in this together, but stay away from me.
That's right. Yes, sir. That is correct, bro. Yes, please do. Put your mask on. When you go out there, look like one of them Mortal Kombat characters, man. Make sure it's on your face, man. And because people are getting sick, people are passing away, and
Yeah.
here in the South, for some reason, they're opening up a lot of businesses and pretty much making everything open again. I would just for me, I'm taking my time. There's no rush
Me
for
too.
me to
I'm,
get out there. You know what I mean?
I'm enjoying time with my family, so I'm like you
Yep.
said, I'm taking my time. I'm
Yep.
not gonna rush it. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
continue to do the show virtually because we still
Absolutely.
gonna bring you guys content. I don't care what you say.
Absolutely.
We here to
Absolutely.
stay. Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up. And we want to see all the fans. We want to make sure y'all stay home so y'all can be healthy to see the season, man, to see our
Right,
show. You know what I mean? Just enjoy life. You know what I mean? So
right.
yeah, man. So today, y'all, we have a treat for y'all, man. We are going to talk about this draft, guys. Man, we got a lot to show, man. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
we do. Yes,
Yes,
we
we do.
do.
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do.
We're going to cover all the players, man, today.
Mhm. All six, man. It was a good draft. Well, like I said, we're gonna go into details about it. I'm excited about the season. This is one season I'm really excited about, and just
Yes.
hopefully we get to play. But I'm like really excited to see what moving pieces we have going forward, especially coming off a championship loss. But still, who
Right.
can say which team can say they made it to the championship? You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
correct.
I'm excited to see what we've added, what we continue to add, because John Robinson is never finished. Like he has these virtual things for season ticket holders. So I attend some of those and just listen to him and get a little insight. And we still on Clowney watch, people, so we don't know what Davion is doing. We don't know if he want this one. He want to do this one day and then do this the next. So hopefully, man, we get this championship to Nashville,
Yep.
Tennessee, and then hopefully we can get a championship defensive line going so we can get it going and just become champions. So
That's right.
definitely,
That's right.
man, definitely.
And for those that are major Titan fans that's watching the show, man, that really, try to get in knee deep with the Titans, I would tell you guys that, what we're going to go over today, we're going to cover a lot of, we're going to discuss each player and what they can bring to the Titans, their strengths, their weaknesses, where they come from, and even an NFL comparison. We have done the research. A lot of these players we already knew about anyway. We even discussed a few of them on our previous show, so we know what we're talking about. So we are excited to bring on these young guys. Even if the young guys are watching the show, we are excited for you guys.
Right.
We are ready for the season, man, whenever it starts. And I think these guys will be ready as well, man.
Right. So welcome to the team. So I guess we're gonna get started, man.
Let's
I'm
do it,
ready.
Jacques.
Let's
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 do it,
do it.
man.
Let's do it,
Let's
brother.
do it.
Let's do. This is the first edition on the Tennessee Titans Weekly Draft. This is our first draft,
Yes,
like
exactly.
doing a draft show. So this is awesome, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All
So,
right.
so
So
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 NFL Draft for the Titans, the Tennessee Titans Weekly Post Draft Analysis Edition, man. We here, Jacques.
we here. So we're gonna go through each draft pick, but there's a extra draft pick that we drafted along with Isaiah Wilson, and we all know who that is, the star of the weekend.
Yep.
Let's say that, the talk of the town, the talk of the world. I mean, she was on movie podcasts. I've seen her come up in different things. People tweeting about it, and
Yep.
I'm just gonna. I'm not even gonna let y'all wait. Her
So the
name.
first, the
But
first,
first and foremost, we're gonna get to this. So
yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yep. So when you look at the draft, the mock draft, we did our mock draft in our previous show. Okay. Here's the good news, folks. So out of the 6 positions that were drafted by the Titans, I and Jacques both got 4 out of 6 correct on the positions that we guessed. Um, and even though some might be different positions, even though we did that, 4 out of the 6 we picked were correctly. And for me, I had picked our second, third, and fifth round pick correctly in a row: cornerback, running back, and D tackle. So we know what we're talking about, man.
Right, right. And with me, it was cornerback, running back, D tackle, and my surprise pick was a quarterback.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand why we got a quarterback because we've been down that road before of trying to get these backup quarterbacks. Like when we had what was his name? Man, he's slipping my mind, Hawk. Before Tannehill.
Zach Mettenberger.
No, not Mittenberger, man.
Before Tannehill.
Yeah, before I'm having a brain fart, man.
A veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he was a veteran
Matt
quarterback.
Castle.
We had Matt Castle. Keep naming them. We had Matt Castle. This is how bad your backup quarterback. Our backup quarterback.
We've had several from Matt Hasselbeck. We've had a lot of just different quarterbacks here.
So just to speed it up, the thing about the backup quarterback is we constantly brought a quarterback in, and eventually John Robinson was going to draft one. Now he failed on Luke Falk. We know that. That was almost like a trial and error pick. Like, hey, we need to pick somebody. But he probably knew in the back of his mind, I'm gonna get Tannehill the whole time. I'm gonna get Tannehill. But what he did this time, hey, if you don't see John Robinson go out and get it in free agency, he gonna draft it. And in this draft, it's unique quarterbacks in this draft that they're not day one starters. They might not ever start, but they have the potential to start. They have the potential to be almost a Tom Brady. Not comparing them to Tom Brady, but the potential of a Gardner Minshew out of Jacksonville. How some of them are emerging. But like we said, we've watched tape on several different quarterbacks, and I'm like, okay, he has potential to get somewhere and start if you give him time. Yep. This quarterback, and John Robinson, like we said before, he drafts your clone, okay?
Yep.
He drafts your clone. I don't care what position you play on the team. Hell, I don't even care what coach you are. He's gonna draft your clone, and he's gonna hire your clone as well, because that's how you keep a culture going, right?
Yep.
You don't want to constantly having a revolving door, and I think that's what John Robinson is trying to stop, is that revolving door. We need some continuity in here. We need some. That's what ruined. I think that's what ruined. Was part of the reason what ruined Marcus's time here was because it was a constant revolving door. He never had consistency, and other little factors too, but that was a part of it. So what I see now is, hey, John is in year 5 of being the GM, and the success of us getting to the championship weighs part on the people that he draft, the players that he draft. Majority of the starting defensive offense is people that he drafted. He can come in day one and play, and that's what I like about John. So it's something that, like you said, we know what we're talking about when it comes to, hey, what we need, what things do we need on the team, what positions do we need on the team, how John Robinson works, how he operates. Is he going to trade? Is he not going to trade? Is he going to draft your position? Is he going to draft your clone? So John Robinson is a type of DM that thinks 7 years on down the line, 10 years on down the line, versus thinking right now, hey, we need to win right now. No, I'm going to think 10 years on down the line at the same time winning right now.
Right. Correct. That is correct. And so when you look at what we have drafted, that's what exactly we're trying to do, fill those holes. Even again, the 3 that I selected, that I picked, I did think we would pick an offensive lineman, though I didn't think we'd pick him early because I had us to pick a receiver early with Justin Jefferson, but he was already picked, which I kind of figured anyway. I said it in the show.
He was slipping though.
Yeah, he was.
He was slipping.
But we ended up getting an offensive tackle. I thought we needed an O-line. I didn't think that early, but I understand as to why, and we will definitely explain that on the show as to why we picked the offensive lineman in the first round. So this was the mock draft that we had in our previous show. What we're going to do now, we are going to go into the draft. So we're going to talk about, what we were just saying earlier, how if we had one player that would have been picked 1, if the Titans had picked 1, this is the player that we would have drafted right here, man. Y'all ready? Isaiah Wilson's mom from Brooklyn, BK. Man.
We don't have our measurables.
Exactly, right.
But we have our strengths and weaknesses. The precision was perfect. The timing was perfect.
Yep.
You did it on national TV, which was insane.
Yep.
And it's just, this whole draft was unique from the beginning anyway, of how it was virtual set up, families there. They got on regular clothes. They look like regular people.
Right.
And just to see how his mom took her and she yanked her a little bit. She's like,
she did.
I'm warning you. This is your warning yank.
Yep.
And everybody knows how your mama is. I'm gonna tell you again. And that third time, get your up.
Mm-hmm.
Get up.
Yep.
So
that's what she did, man. I mean,
man. So in what we're gonna do with this draft that we got in the show for you guys is we're gonna compare the players' strengths and weaknesses. Yep. So with our number one, our 29th pick, like I said, it's a package deal. What were some of her strengths, man?
Well, one, if you guys look at, she's the lady with the red arrow being pointed at. That's his mother. You can tell his father, he's like, I know how she do. I know how she acts. Don't mess with her, right? So when you look at what she did, again, the video went viral. The whole world saw the video of when Isaiah Wilson was drafted. His girlfriend sat down. He was trying to, show his face a little bit, but she covered him up because she was consoling him. She was happy for him. And then she took a peek at the camera, kind of like, I am on national TV right now, too. And I think her mama understood that. So when you put that awareness of, like, if you don't get your cell phone off my son, I'm going to get these hands, I'm going to put them on you, I'm going to swipe you off. And that's exactly what she did. So when you look at strengths, hand strength is definitely there. I'm hoping that Isaiah Wilson got that trait from his mother because she's got it, right? Definitely the awareness was there. This is my son's time to be shown to the world that he's been drafted. This is his big day. Get your tail on off my son, right? And she did it with quickness. So she has all the strengths that's needed for the first pick of the draft, man.
Right.
Yep.
She ain't got no weaknesses.
No weaknesses.
No weaknesses at all. Now, we're going to do NFL comparisons, too. And our NFL comparisons, he's not even NFL, but he's a legend, and his name is Debo.
Debo, as they say on Friday. Not Debo Samuel, Debo.
Tuck your chain, Debo.
Exactly. And that's what she did to his girlfriend, man. And so I bet she won't be doing that again. Nope. Mama got her right.
She got her right.
She let that Brooklyn go into her, man. Marcy Projects Brooklyn come out of her, man.
She did. She did. So we're going to go into our real pick, which was the 29th pick. And we know we have our boy, the new Tennessee Titan.
Yep.
Georgia, Isaiah Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Tackle.
Yes, sir.
6'6", 350.
Yep. 350.
50. Okay.
That's a whole. That's three human beings, man.
350. And he's not that sloppy 350. He's that chisel in shape, ready to move a truck in a mountain 350. So something that, like I said, we were going to do before. What are some of the strengths? And we've looked at tape on all these prospects already.
Yep.
What are some of the strengths that you like about Isaiah?
Well, let's look at, first of all, his size. So, we've done a lot of study on these players since they've been drafted. As soon as they got drafted, you start pulling up just, a lot of information. When you look at his size and then even his strength, he played at Georgia in the SEC. Georgia's always been a great running team. And so for the past 2 seasons, he's been a big part of that. And even when you see him on the line, he's so big, like he literally could play guard and tackle at the same time. That's how big he is. He's not 6'6", 325, 305, 310. He's 350. When he came to Georgia, he was 370 to 380. So he lost weight. So he's huge. And the way of the NFL now, a lot of linemen are more leaner, but us as a organization, we are a running football team. So again, I understand why we drafted him. I get that. I understand that. So size and strength, and of course he's been battle tested, man. So about for you, Jacques.
So he has nice feet. I've looked at some of his feet. Now, the thing about him is, like you said, he lost weight. So you can kind of tell he lost weight. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And with him being battle tested and his strength and strong, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. So his size and what he has.
How's everybody doing?
What up?
What's going on?
That's the other Hawk in here.
Yep. So, Marc the Skeptic.
So with his size, and one thing I like is, imagine Derrick Henry running behind him. You see what I'm saying? That O-line that we got now, hey, we got one of the biggest O-lines in the league now by drafting this joker right here. Right. And then on top of that, the competition that comes with him competing with Kelly. Now, something that a lot of people didn't like, and we were included, was you signed Kelly to a, was it a 3-year deal? Was it
2-year deal. 2-year deal.
2-year deal. You signed him to a 2-year deal. Was it like $9 million?
Something like that. Something in that ballpark.
So you sign him, and then you go draft an offensive tackle. Now, first, our emotions into it. You're like, why are you drafting a tackle? That doesn't make sense. But then when you really gotta sit back and think how John Robinson operates, he's drafting your replacement. Right. Now this is straight competition. This is competition for Kelly. Competition, and anybody will tell you, competition makes the next person and the next man or woman better.
Yep.
So, hey, now let me ask you this: some of his weaknesses. What do you see?
Well, one thing I say about Isaiah Wilson from a weaknesses standpoint, I think he might have struggles. Or no, it's not a might. He will have struggles early against speedy defensive ends like the Von Millers, which is not many Von Millers in the league, but guys of that nature. I mean, he'll get good practice. In practice with Vic Beasley, Harold Landry, and those guys, even maybe Jadeveon Clowney. But I think when you look at his tape, he's very stiff in the hips, and I think though he's got good feet, it's his hips. Like I think he's a great run blocker, but pass blocking might be a challenge for him early. So he's going to have to really learn how to adjust, even maybe lose a few pounds to adjust to the speed of the defense, man. What about for you, man?
So me, it's almost, it mirrors what you say. He's real stiff, and when it comes to those speedy DNs in the NFL, they're so quick. Get around them, it's done. Now you imagine him and Vic Beasley in practice. Vic Beasley, even though people talk about Vic Beasley is still he had 16 sacks his rookie year. Right. So that's going to be a good test for him, that speed coming around that corner. Even with Harold Landry, he has that lean and that bend. Same thing. It's going to test him where he, like you said, he has to loosen up his hips to the point where he gets around. And he almost has to be more athletic because he's a good run blocker. He can run block all day. It's just pass blocking is what worries me with him. Right. Now, like I said, with Jake Fromm back there throwing, we know the left side was held down by what was the other tackle from Georgia they got?
Got drafted. Yeah, Thomas. Right. Yes.
Thomas held his side down.
Right.
The pressure came from Isaiah's side, which I'm like, okay, that's when it was time to pass. But run blocking, oh no, Swift was having a field day. So just imagine him and Derrick Henry. Henry running behind this mammoth, and how many yards and how many holes is going to open up when he's behind Derrick's behind him.
Yep, absolutely. And in our NFL comparison for Isaiah Wilson is actually the former Titan Eagle great John Runyon, whose son actually got drafted, by the way, from Michigan. Runyon was a tough-nosed tackle. He was big, a big run blocking lineman. Pass blocking was kind of average. But you look at his Runyon size, he was about 6'5" and about 340. Runyon did a great job here with the Titans. When Eddie George was at his prime, Runyon was the tackle on the right side. So, that's who, I would compare him to, John Runyon.
Same here. I mean, like you said, the size and John Runyon played with Bruce and everybody, and he was an Eagles great. So that's my comparison to would be John Runyon. So
yeah, man. Yep. So that's our gig there for Isaiah Wilson. Congratulations, Isaiah, on being a first-round pick. Welcome to Tennessee. Welcome to Nashville. You are a Titan, sir. So our next pick that we drafted
was the corner.
LSU, second
BBU.
round. Kristian Fulton. Absolutely. Kristian Fulton. So, Jacques, I will say this. So, when we discussed on our previous show, you had brought up Kristian Fulton. We brought up a lot of corners, man. I would tell you, bro, I'm so excited for this guy right here, man, coming to Tennessee, man. You talk about strengths. Oh, my gosh, dude. He's got a lot of them, man. What are some of the strengths that you think?
So, first of all, with Kristian, which is insane, it's surprising how fast he fell and how far he fell in the second round. That's number one. Yep. John Robinson robs the bank every year in his drafts. Last year, we got 2 first-round picks. This year, we got 2, in my opinion, 2 first-round picks with Kristian being graded as a first-rounder. Something that I like about Kristian, now we know the issues and the off-the-field issues that he had. We know that John looked past that, and he's like, hey, are you here to win? Cut the crap out. We're here to win. This is our culture. Let's get it going. One thing I like about Kristian, man, he's battle tested, okay?
Yep.
He plays in the SEC. He went against some of the top talent in Jerry Jeudy, Higgins, Ruggs from Alabama, Van Jefferson from Florida. So he's seen top-notch talent and top-notch receivers.
Every week.
Every week. That's a crazy stat that I'm going to tell y'all. You know it. He went against Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, T. Higgins. He only had 11 combined with all 3 receivers, 11 targets, 3 catches, 39 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 pass breakups.
That's unbelievable, man.
Let that sink in.
Yep.
Let that sink in. Let it sink in. Like literally, let it sink in. And that was with him because of Stingley on the opposite side. So he's going to automatically get the attention and everything. Hey, I'm not finna throw towards Stingley, but I'm finna pick on Fulton. So it's like, okay, something else I like too. He mirrors receivers very well, man. He's in your hip pocket. So you know, as a corner, and we both play corner, you have to have good hips. And if you have speed, if you can mirror damn near running the route for the receiver, hey, you're going to be a good corner or a top tier corner.
That's
and
right.
That's something that's hard to do is mirror a receiver. And if you notice, the great corners or the top tier corners in the NFL now know how to mirror receivers.
That's right.
I don't care which route you run, there's like an annoying little fly in your ear the whole time. And also he's fluid. He's very fluid and underrated. What about you?
So, yeah, absolutely. I think, when you look at the tape, even looking at him now, some of the offseason workouts he's already been doing, man, you could just tell he's fluid as water, man. I mean, wherever the ball is, his hips go in that same direction. He just moves throughout. And because he's so battle-tested, seeing top receivers won't be nothing to him. He'll walk in the park, right? You got to understand, Kristian Fulton was a starter even a bit when he was a freshman. Yes, he got in trouble, and I think that's the reason why he wasn't picked in the first round. When you look at his stats, when you look at overall the coverages that he had, you're talking about probably one of the best corners in college football, no question about it. Again, folks, LSU was undefeated. They played top-notch teams all season. They tried to throw it on this young man. It wasn't happening. He got a lot of action. So he is battle-tested. Stingley, who's only a sophomore now, will be like probably the first pick of the draft next year or the year after. They went after Fulton, and Fulton succeeded. That's why he's drafted. I'm telling you, man, me and you have talked about this. We might have the biggest steal in the draft. I'm telling you, man, moving forward, I'm more excited for him than any pick that we've had this season, man. I think Kristian Fulton's a great addition. So, yeah, man. So I would say this, Jock. So if I'm saying about weaknesses, the one thing I would say about Fulton, he's a tall, lanky corner, 6'1", 185. I think at times looking at his tape, sometimes he has struggles tackling running backs and tight ends. Not so much the receivers, but guys has got some size on him, man. So I think that's a challenge for him in tackling running backs and tight ends. What about for you, man?
Man, knowing his potential. So something that I noticed too with him, with Stingley being on the other side. Now his freshman year when he won 22, and people can go back and look at the tape.
Yep.
He was all over the field, man. He almost would have thought, okay, he's the new Patrick Peterson or he's the new Tyrann Mathieu. Something about him, he doesn't know his potential because you can kind of look at some of the tape and he kind of goes back in the fold. Because I guess he was constantly getting picked on and picked on and picked on.
Yep.
You're like, okay, I'm looking at a receiver that's concentrating and you can almost concentrate too hard and play too hard and like, okay, hey, you get your head around, but in the NFL, there's a penalty. Something else about him, too, is he garners a lot of pass interference.
Yep.
And in the NFL, they're going to throw the flag every time with you being in your hip pocket. But with my knack with him, if he can break that mirror of, hey, I'm the next Patrick Peterson or the Jalen Ramsey or even Deion Sanders, his ceiling is high, man. His ceiling is high. And what that'll do, it'll help him by putting him in the slot and having Adoree and Butler out there doing the work and having him just mirror your slot receiver, he'll get that confidence. And I'm not saying he doesn't have confidence, but potential like him and just to have the strength that he does, we don't realize we might have a shutdown corner in the next 2 or 3 years. Just not saying we will, but I'm just saying the potential that he has, and if he gets with the right people in the offseason and learns different techniques, which I advise that he does, and get with Patrick Peterson in the shutdown corners, hey, we got our outside corner for years. Something that we haven't had since Samari Rowe. So, and bring that up. Who's your NFL comparison?
So Samari Rowe. I mean, if you look at his size, they're about the same size. When you watch the tape from a coverage standpoint, him and Samari Rowe have very similar traits. They play the ball very, very well. They keep their distance very good with the wide receivers. They're pretty much at their hip pocket. He looks just like Samari Rowe on tape. I mean, he really does. And I know you spoke upon A.J. Boye.
A.J. Boye. And with me, and A.J. Boye is good at that. He's good at mirror receivers. He doesn't have the speed as Fulton because Fulton ran like a 4.41, so that's absolutely. But Boye he shows that going away. He has that potential to mirror receivers and pass breakups and everything like that. So my comparison would be A.J. Boye.
Gotcha, man. All right, so that's Kristian Fulton, folks. Kristian, if you're listening to the show, welcome, young man, from New Orleans up to Nashville, bro. Welcome to the city, man. Welcome to the city. All right, so our next pick, the running back out of Appalachian State. And I had a good friend that played at App State. Darrynton Evans, Boone, North Carolina, App State. Welcome to Tennessee, young man.
Welcome, my friend.
Yes, sir. So this was our third round pick. So as far as strengths, so what are some of the strengths that you see, Jacques?
So one strength is his speed. We haven't had speed like this in a minute. This is what Deion Lewis was supposed to be to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's Batman, Deion Lewis is Robin. And this was what he was supposed to do. This young man ran on a 4.41. He's a track guy. He has good straight line speed, good little twitch to him.
Yep.
He's just fast, man. The kid is fast. And he put up crazy numbers at App State. I don't have the numbers with me right now, but there was an article that came out, I think it was from A to Z, shout out to them, that they compared his stats to Christian McCaffrey and Chris Johnson. And I was like, wow, that's some big shoes.
His system froze. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can hear you now. Okay. Yeah, his system froze. We're gonna bring him back. We're gonna keep recording the show, man. For some reason, it happened a bit earlier. Let me invite him back here. Let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize. Just a second, about to bring him on back. We got Marc the Skeptic. Anything you want to add so far, sir?
Man, y'all real high on Fulton.
Yep.
I think he's good and all.
Yeah.
My only issues is he supposed to take Logan Ryan's place?
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
So that means he's gonna cover the likes of Tyreek Hill and Keenan Allen.
Yep.
So that'll
be a challenge for him.
Yeah, 6 foot?
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I think the first 4 picks are gonna get plenty of playing time. The last 2, I don't think they're gonna make the team, but
yeah.
Kristian Fulton's gonna get plenty of playing time. He'll be the third DB.
He sure will.
In positions where you have to guard, the fast receivers. And I know he runs a pretty good time, but I'm just hoping that his height don't get in the way, because your boy Logan Ryan got torched by Tyreek Hill in the AFC Championship game.
Yep, that's right.
Repeat of that.
Yep. What do you think about Isaiah Wilson?
Great run blocker. Question marks as far as pass blocking, which to me was our biggest weakness besides pass rush, was pass blocking. So quarterback got sacked a whole bunch of times last year. So I'm hoping that, he probably won't come in and be a backup behind Kelly. But a lot of O-lines don't get plenty of playing time, but some of them get hurt. So, that would be my question mark about him.
So Mark, I understand, man. Yes. Can you hear me, Jacques? Did you get the invite? Did you get the invite? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Absolutely. Yes, sir. So I would say this, Mark, man, looking at Isaiah Wilson, when you look at the competition, he's got Dennis Kelly. Right now, from a contract standpoint, you would think going into the season might be the starter. But I do think Isaiah Wilson will eventually take over that role at some point in the season. I don't know how it's going to play out early, but I think that right now just like having Dennis Kelly as a backup because his salary is not that big, to be honest with you. It's good enough for a backup lineman. He's not getting superior money as a right tackle. He really isn't. So, at first I was kind of against us drafting a lineman. I know you wanted us to draft a lineman first pick. You called that. You actually got the first 4 picks correct. But I would still say overall, I think Isaiah Wilson is actually a pretty good pick, contrary to what I thought initially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be great on the run, but again, we have a good offensive lineman when it comes to running the football. Obviously, you had a 15-yard rusher, 1,500-yard rusher.
Right.
Our issue is pass blocking. So we'll be able to move those feet.
Yep.
But we will see.
Yep. We'll see. Well, he's going because once we.
I think be beneficial. Of course, my only issues with him is will he be able to run in between the tackles? Yeah. One of the problems we had with Dion Lewis is as soon as he got in the game, everybody knew he was passing the ball because he couldn't run.
Right.
It's going to be a case where here comes Evans in the game. It means it's 3rd and 8. They're going to pass the ball. Predictable.
Yep.
If he can run in between the tackles, I mean, he has a chance to really help us out a lot.
Really does. And when I watch the tape, man, I'll tell you this, Darrynton Evans, though, one thing that scares me about him is his size. He's not really a big running back. We even put down on the screen where he compares to me to Jamal Charles. But if you look at overall, he does hit the hole. When you watch the tape, he runs through the hole. He's not afraid to run. Till he gets his first taste of getting hit by a linebacker, then that might change everything. Coming from App State playing against the Baltimore Ravens, that's a big change, right? So we'll see that. But yes, he will bring something that we haven't had. We try to get out of Dion Lewis and other people, and it just didn't happen. So he will have opportunity.
He played the Sun Belt, so I don't,
Right.
At Appalachian State, it wasn't like he played it.
Right. Florida or somewhere.
Florida, something like that. So,
Right. Correct. So yes, we are. Go ahead.
I think overall the draft was a safe draft. We didn't make like big splashes. We didn't trade up. I guess at the end we traded our 4th round pick, but just got some players that's gonna help us in depth. To me, it was like almost like a Kansas City Chiefs type of draft where, we're a top-notch team. We just building for, just have some depth. My only question is, we're 9-17. We're 1 fumble away from not even being in the playoffs.
Exactly.
I think I would like us to look at us as a 9-17, not as a team that went to the AFC Championship. Things just the way that happened. So I was hoping he would trade up to get that dude. I think he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Talking about Keyshawn Vaughn?
No, the offensive lineman that jumped.
The lineman. Yeah.
Nice to have. So, but I don't question John Robinson. He has a history of making great draft picks. So, we'll put faith in him, I guess.
Yep. So, looking at the draft, looking at our players, when you look at, and you and I discussed this as well as far as Isaiah Wilson being real stiff, do you think that'll be a problem for him?
Of course. Especially going against like an Indianapolis Colts team. They're a smaller team, right? A speed defense.
Yep.
Going against J.J. Watt.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And Doku, if he still plays with the Jags,
Jackson, they just drafted a rusher.
Right, correct.
Coming off the edge. So we will see.
Yep. We'll see, man.
We get some more free agents because I think we're short a receiver. I think we still need that 4th receiver, right?
Yep, we do, man. And that's why I was so high on us to try to draft a receiver early. That's why I wasn't so high upon getting an O-lineman so early in the draft. I understand why, because we're already running team. But, we've lost the likes of Tajay Sharp. You know, Corey Davis is still, you know, the news is out on him. We don't know if they'll pick up his fifth year option. So, you know, if that doesn't happen, then what, right? Then what? So there were a lot of receivers in this draft that I think we could have drafted. You know what I mean? Yep.
We could have.
Yep. 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 So yeah, so folks, Jacques is having some system issues. He is almost logged in. You know, so that's what happens with technology sometimes, man. It crashes. It's just, you know, what it is. But we got Marc the Skeptic. You know, he's here on the show with us. A lot of times if I say something is green, then he'll say it's yellow. So, you know what I mean? So he's
I just speak the
welcome addition.
truth.
I got you. So yeah. So, but yeah, so I think too, man, like if you look at Kristian Fulton, I know you say we were kind of high on Kristian Fulton, which I am. I think Kristian Fulton will bring a lot to the team. Very underrated. You know, if he had gotten in trouble, he was out of football for almost 2 years, man. You know, so if, you know, that hadn't been the case, Kristian Fulton would have been picked in the first round, no question. And you know, looking at the competition, the receivers he went against this past year, man, he was shutting folks down, man. The tape clearly shows that. If you threw the ball, he was right there at all times. So if Logan Ryan is no longer here, do you think Kristian Fulton will be, of course he'll start, but you think he'll do well as a rookie?
I said that's why it depends on are they gonna play him inside or out. I think he'd be better on out.
Me too.
So on a 3 receiver set, have a Dory in the slot, but that's how I would play it.
Yeah.
I think he would be better if he's on outside. Probably with probably some of our bigger receivers.
Yeah.
That's how I would play him. Now, if they play him in the slot, then I think he may have some problems. But no, I think he'll do pretty good overall.
Yep. Jacques, you back with us, good sir?
Back, man. I'm having internet issues, man.
Man, no worries, brother. No worries at all, man. No worries at all, man. So, but we can get back into the draft. Marc the Skeptic, we'll have you join in on this draft analysis as well too. If you want to pull back up the slide of the pictures and things.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Share my screen.
All right.
All right. So
All right.
what left off, man?
Yeah. So we were just talking about, you know, when we left about Darrynton Evans, we talked about his strengths, of course, of how fast he is. You know, good hands, would be a welcome addition. I'll say for me, Jacques, man, from a weakness standpoint, he's a bit thin for a running back. And I explained that to Marc about how, you know, when you look at his size, he's 5'10", 203. He's the size of a wide receiver, to be honest with you. And it kind of scares me a little bit because even when you look at the competition, you know, he's not going to be playing against South Florida. He's not going to be playing against Furman, okay? He's going to be playing against the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to be playing against, you know, the Indianapolis Colts. He's going to play against guys that are going to try to knock his head off. So, if anything, you know, in the offseason, hopefully he can bulk up a little bit. And, you know, he's a young guy, so he's thin for a running back. That kind of – because the way he runs, he's not scared to run. You know, he's not timid. He runs. And so, yeah, I just hope he can last long in the league because he will get his opportunities. What about for you, man?
Man, my neck with him and one of his weaknesses is competition. I mean, he played in the Sun Belt. And I'm not knocking anything with the Sun Belt, but I want to see what he can do when, like you said, when it comes to playing the Baltimore Ravens or a real NFL team. So that's one thing with him. Now, his size, it doesn't concern me as much, but like you said, we've talked about it. And when I did see him, I thought he was a receiver when we drafted him. I was like, oh, is he a receiver? But we don't know. They might use him as a receiver, line him up outside, like 5 wide. So he looks like he can catch. He's an extra. To me, he's almost like a hybrid. He's a running back / receiver. So
yeah.
With me, it's just a competition, like lack of competition. I want to see you do this on a big stage, and I want to see you do this against better competition. And I'm not knocking anything with D2 or D3, but, hey, you're going to see. So.
Yep. Yeah, Marc, you have anything you want to add to it, man? For what you've seen of Darrynton Evans?
I think I said it earlier. I like the speed. Probably better as a running back than a receiver, like catching screens and stuff like that. My only issue is I don't want it to be, the Titans were kind of predictable with offense. I don't want it to be when he comes in the game, it's like everybody knows we're passing. So how is he going to be able to run the ball? So I'm hoping he can get some carries in. If not, then I would like to see us get another running back. But
okay,
I can see him doing pretty well, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the comparison that we have for Darrynton Evans is Jamal Charles. I think he's that type of a running back. Jacques, I know you spoke upon Kareem Hunt. I think it's a good mix. I think it's a very good comparison for Darrynton Evans. Definitely.
I agree.
Yep. So
if he's Jamal Charles, we want the Super Bowl.
right. I know, right? So maybe I should put poor man's Jamal Charles, right? Maybe like Romal Charles, right? So yeah. So all right. So for our next pick, the next pick that we had, 5th round, Larrell Murchison, tackle, North Carolina State. Welcome to the team, Larrell.
Hey, welcome, my friend.
Yes, 6'3", 291. So I'll explain some strengths that I've seen, man. Watching the tape, man, me and Jacques, man, we saw a lot of tape about this guy, man. One thing, this guy has a motor, okay? He's nonstop. Like when the ball is snapped, it might take him a minute to recognize what's going on, which we'll talk about in a second. But once he knows what's going on, like, oh, it's a run or it's a pass, then his motor cuts on immediately. His motor is at 100%. And you can tell at the point of attack when offensive linemen, when they go at him, he has very strong hands. When his hands are on the lineman will stand right up. So he does a really good job in creating a lot of chaos with tackling, being strong, and having that motor continuing to run. This guy is a mean, tough player in the line of scrimmage, man. What about for you, Jacques?
So that's the first thing that stood out to me was his motor. I said this Joker's motor is ridiculous. I mean, he doesn't give up on the plays, always around the ball. I believe that he was a team captain, and I think he did come from a JUCO school, I believe.
Yep.
So of course he had to. When you come from a JUCO, you have to put in the work. So something I like about him is his motor, man. If you have a high motor, all those other things can be taught to the point where, okay, we can teach you technique, we can teach you certain things to help you become a better D tackle. But if you're lazy, you don't have the motor, hey, it's not gonna help you. So you either have the motor but don't have the skills, or you have the skills and don't have the motor. So, and like you said, something I noticed too that stood out was tackling. Something that the Titans I know struggle with this last year and in the year before is our run defense went down the drain. Our run defense used to be the strength of our team.
Right.
And something that I noticed that a lot of teams last year wasn't doing, they wasn't exploiting that. You defense, our secondary is good, our linebackers are good, but our run defense is So we need somebody to get in here to stop the run. We got Big Jeff to do that, and hopefully Larrell will come in here and do the same thing. Now, what about you, Mark?
Yeah, I heard the same thing, that he's a high-energy guy that's going to play the whistle to whistle. Is he a great pass rusher? Or is he a guy that's going to be there to stop the run? So I'm saying 291.
Yeah.
To me, he's gonna have to be a guy that's gonna come in and try to get a good pass rush. So my challenge to him is would he be able to get to the quarterback? It's something Jarrell Casey could do.
Right, correct.
Well, Jarrell Casey was able to get to the quarterback, make turnovers.
Yes. Yep. At D tackle.
Beat that. At D tackle.
At D tackle, right.
So Mark, I can answer that real quick. Is he a pass rusher? No.
Right.
He's not. He tries. He tries. Right. He's a good at the point of attack and making tackles. But I think the biggest thing that we've looked at, man, is his recognition from a weakness standpoint. Sometimes he even looks at, he don't even know if it's a punt. And it's like, dude, it's second down, right? So he needs to do better in understanding, down and distance, understanding when it's a run. Like I don't know, it takes him a minute to, even if he's trying to rush the passer, he kind of looks first, like, should I be doing this? Oh yeah, now I need to go. Then his motor starts, right? He's got to be more quick on his feet. And he didn't really run a fast 40 either. I mean, I think like a 5.1 in a 40. I mean, I know he's 291 pounds, but if you are a pass rusher, you got to, at least be about a 4.8, so no.
Right. Yeah. No, he's not. Like I agree with Hawk, he's not a pass rusher by any means. I mean, but he's a good run stopper and he can tackle. That's his biggest strength. And like you said, the motor, but the play recognition, man, he's late off the ball, like literally late. I mean, you say hike, and he's still like literally in his stance. I'm like, dude, get up. And that's when I think the motor kicks in. So if you can coach where he has the motor, and once that ball is snapped, he's gone, even when he can get like a pre-snap, because you've seen some of the great defensive linemen, they count the snaps so well, man. It's almost look like they offsides. So that biggest weakness with him is like you said, play recognition and getting off the ball, man. You get off the ball too slow, and that hurts him. And I think that's why he went and where he went in the draft was he's just late. Like, he lived in the 5th round. I mean, and I know the Titans did a pre-draft visit with him virtually, so he had already been on their radar.
Yeah.
And he's a 5th round pick, so he's not there to start. He's there to give Jeffrey Simmons a break or something. So his height, I think, will be beneficial because he's just gonna come in, on our first string D line and getting tired. So to me, that'll be his value, to come in, get some energy, plays in for a couple plays. If he can do that, then I think he can fulfill the role. That's why the first 4 picks are definitely, to me, gonna make a team.
Right. So our NFL comparison for this guy now, again, I want to make sure folks understand, we're not saying he is a Jurrell Casey, right? Because he's not, but his play reminds me of Jurrell Casey, despite the delay. But his size, I mean, he's a little bit taller than Jurrell Casey, and but he's tough inside like Jurrell Casey. His motor's there. Jurrell Casey had a great motor, great hands, tackled very well, tackled for losses. Larrell Murchison had a whole lot of that in his college career. So that's sort of our comparison, so to speak, to Jurrell Casey.
Right, and just to add to that point, like you said, with the Jurrell Casey comparison, is Jurrell Casey is a different specimen. He's a D tackle that gets sacks. You don't see that. That's unknown. You're a D tackle. You're supposed to stop the run, not get sacked. So we got spoiled with Jurrell Casey, and it's almost with Larrell. It's like, okay, well, you're going back to that original D tackle that's not going to get those sacks, but he'll stop the run, but he's not going to get those sacks. So this is why I kind of wish we would have kept Jurrell, because Jurrell could have been a good mentor to Larrell, to the where, hey, and I'm going to teach you how to become me, and I'm going to teach you the techniques of what you need to do. So I like the comparison.
Yep, absolutely, man. So, all right. So for our next pick in the 7th round, we picked.
Technical difficulties, okay.
No worries, that's all good. Cole McDonald, Cole McD, right? A quarterback, which I'm shocked that we picked, but after talking to you, Jacques, I understand why we picked the quarterback. I get it. He's a 7th round pick. 6'4", 220. What are some of the strengths that you guys see about Cole McDonald?
So first strength that really stands out to me is he goes through his progressions. That was the biggest thing of looking at tape on Cole McDonald, was he knows how to look off defenders. He's going through his read, something that Marcus Mariota didn't do that much. He just a one-look read guy and throw the ball. Cole is going in there, standing, looking. And then when you can tell he's going through his progressions, it's so calculated. And also something that I like, too, he stands up. He climbs the pocket and throws the ball. And he throws a nice deep ball at that, too. And they're running through offense. That's what Hawaii did. I'm like, every time you turn around, they're throwing the ball deep. So I would like to see him throw a mid ball or his medium accuracy and his short accuracy, but his deep ball is beautiful, man. And he's athletic. He's real athletic. So what about you?
He's super athletic. Cole McDonald is very fast. When his straight line speed, he runs like a wide receiver. You would have to see the tape to understand what I'm saying. When he takes off, he's not scrambling, he's running. I mean, when you look at the 40 time when he ran in the combine, he ran a 4.5. So that lets you know he's got speed, right? To be 6'4", 220. But he's a quarterback, running and things. I mean, it's essential. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, guys like that, Lamar Jackson, that's cool. But his biggest strength is his deep ball. When you watch the tape, he puts the ball on the money on the deep ball. It's really unbelievable when you see it. He does read his progressions very well. When you looked at him in Hawaii, he was the only player that they really had. But they let him, run the offense. And he did a very good job. He had a good amount of touchdowns. He threw for a lot of yards last year. I think he had over 4,000 yards passing. I know Hawaii, when you look at like Cole Brennan and those guys, they've done things like that in the past. But those guys are 5'10", 5'11". This guy's 6'4". Okay, he's not a little quarter. He's 6'4". That means something. So he does have a strong arm. Overall, those some of the strengths that I've seen, man. Mark, what about for you, man?
Well, he's got a strong arm, no doubt about it. And I think for what I've seen, he can throw a good deep ball.
Yeah.
He got A.J. Brown, so, that's a good combination. But, of course, he went to Hawaii. I don't trust Hawaii quarterbacks. It's like trust Oregon quarterbacks.
Yeah, I feel.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of look like Joshua Cribbs to me or somebody out there.
With those dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right. I know, man. I know it. I know. So, well, I would say, man, I'm sorry.
I looked it up. He was the fastest quarterback in the draft.
Yes.
So,
yes.
He's got speed. He's got a strong arm. But, again, I don't know if he's going to make the team. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
He'll make watching preseason fun because I think he's got a character or something.
He does.
Got to be around. So
I think he will make the team. Because he doesn't have much competition. I mean, he's coming in like this is perfect for me. So I think he'll definitely get his shot of making the team. I know he's a late round pick, but looking at his intangibles, strength, speed, throwing the football, having success in college, those things will bode well for him. But I will say a weakness, and Jacques, you spoke about this big time, man, is the throwing motion. And I'll let you talk more about that because I think, man, the points you made were perfect. For me, is really that competition. Again, he played in the Mountain West in Hawaii. So you play in schools like Montana, Utah State, those type of schools. And when you look at, especially on the West Coast, when you look at defenses on the West Coast are terrible. We know this, right? He wasn't playing in the SEC. DBs don't really come from the West Coast. And I'm not being biased about that because I'm in the South, but it's facts. Pac-12 defenses, Mountain West defenses, the worst in the nation. So he wasn't going against Kristian Fultons out there. He was going against guys like me out there. So that made him probably look better than what he is. But I think a big weakness is he has not been challenged. So what about you, Jacques?
For me, it's his throwing motion, and he has that low wind-up throwing motion, and almost like you start from the bottom and you throw. And the first thing with quarterbacks like that is they fumble a lot. They fumble a lot, and DNs know how to get around there and knock that ball out of his hand. And he can say he'll work on his throwing motion. He can say that all day. But until I actually see a quarterback, because every quarterback said, hey, I'm working on my throwing motion. I'm going to work on my throwing motion. But until I actually see it come to fruition in light, I'm not going to believe it. So it's almost to the point where you are what you are. And that throwing motion has got him where he's at now. He got drafted in the 7th round. But it's just if he don't work on that throwing motion, he'll be a backup quarterback, and he'll probably be gone in the next 2 or 3 years because he ain't going to get no playing time, no PT. Right. Now, do I think he'll make the team? Yeah, I do think he'll make the team. And the reason why is the comparison. So, Hawk, I see you got him comparing them to our past quarterback, number 8.
Yeah. That's what I see.
Marcus, okay.
That's what I see. I see Marcus Mariota. I see they're about the same height, but he's bigger. Right. The way he throws, the way he runs. Some people could be like, well, he probably won't make the team since Mariota's not on the team. I might get that, but he definitely has a better deep ball than Mariota, and it's not even close, to be honest with you. Mariota might have the better intangibles. Mariota was a winner. Let's not act like he hadn't won football games for us, because he did. But I think being a backup, he doesn't have that same type of expectation like Mariota being the 2nd pick of the draft, right? He's a 7th round pick. So yeah. Mark, what about for you, man?
As far as the comparison?
Comparisons and weaknesses.
Yeah, I said the weakness for me is the throwing motion, like you said, the lack of competition. Same thing here.
Yeah.
And just the fact he's from Hawaii. Coach Brennan, the greatest quarterback ever, right? Based on numbers.
Yep.
He didn't get drafted.
Right. He played a little bit for the Redskins. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My comparison would be Ryan Tannehill, and I think that's the reason why we drafted him, because he's athletic like Ryan. So if Ryan goes down, which we hope he don't, but we know his injury history, it's like, okay, well, you're not going to have a big drop-off, but the problem I have is his throwing motion. I'm like, okay, hey, if you get the throwing motion down, you can be a Ryan Tannehill. I'm not saying he will be, but his athletic traits remind me of Ryan Tannehill. A lot of people forget Ryan used to be a wide receiver.
Yep.
That's something, too. He used to be a wide receiver. He was a wide receiver converted to a quarterback. So those athletic traits are going to carry over to you being a quarterback. So that's why I think John drafted him. I was like, okay, no, he drafted him because of it reminds him of Ryan. I'm not saying anything, I'm not knocking anything that Logan Woodside did because he did have a good preseason game last year. But do I trust Logan to come in here and win us 2 or 3 games? I don't even trust him. But it's just if you got to have a drop-off, Logan's not athletic, but Colt is, where do we go from there? So
Yep. So
bring Billy Bolick back. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. All
If
right.
he's playing, we're gonna lose every game.
Well, right.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. So for our last pick in the 7th round, we drafted a corner, and it's not Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. It's Chris Jackson. For basketball fans, y'all, that would make sense what I just said. But Chris Jackson out of Marshall, 6 foot 186. They actually drafted him as a safety, but we think they're going to actually play him as a corner. That's at least what the news is that they're having right now. He did play a lot of corner in his first 3 years with Marshall. Played safety last year. I think this guy has a lot of upside to be a 7th round pick. I think he kind of flew under the radar. When you look at his strengths, what I like about him is that he's very versatile. He plays safety, he plays corner, he returns kicks, he plays special teams. For a 7th round pick, that's what you're looking for. A guy that can play multiple positions, they can take a, pretty much a low pay versus other players to put him in different places and, to earn his keep. We've had several players like LaShawn Sims, Curtis Rainey, other guys in the past that we've had that we've drafted very late that end up staying in the NFL, getting contracts even with other teams. And I think this is the type of guy that's like that. He's a bit faster than what people might think too. He ran a 4.3 in the combine. So I think overall he has the ability to be very good to be a 7th round pick. What about for you, Jacques?
So something out that he holds the record at Marshall's pass breakups. I think he had like 42 or 41 pass breakups, which as a corner, what you want to do is you want to make sure, hey, I'm knocking the ball down. Interceptions are a bonus. And any DB will tell you that, hey, I'm just here to knock the ball out your hand. Anything else extra, I'm fine with. I love, like you said, his versatility, man. The man can play inside, outside. He return kicks. He can do it all. And the speed, something that we lacked in the secondary besides having Adore. And we know when Adore went down, hey, the speed went down. So something, too, is you want to get that element of speed now because now, hey, we got to go see Kansas City to get back to the Super Bowl, We got to see the Ravens, who have upgraded tremendously. They have speed, something that had killed us in the AFC Championship. So his upside and coming in as a 7th round pick, he doesn't have that much expectations to just, hey, come in and start day one. So he's a good special teams. He's going to be a special teams guy. But I think he has the upside to take that LaShawn Sims role because if you look at it, looks like John is trying to start fresh. And he's trying to start so fresh, he's giving everybody an opportunity. I don't care if you're 7th round, undrafted, green, blue, you get an opportunity. I don't care. So just to let LaShawn Sims walk, and he brought back, what's the corner?
Ty Smith.
Ty Smith. He brought back Ty Smith, which was I loved it because we talked about Ty. I like Ty. But Chris Jackson, I like his upside, man. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, you can never go wrong with DBs.
Right.
Just DBs is almost like drafting offensive linemen. You can never have enough of them. So, just the fact that we got more DBs because, if we're going to win the AFC, you're going to have to beat Kansas City. And they got receivers everywhere. Right. So, again, good as far as bringing depth to the team. I don't see him playing much except maybe on special teams. But then you got Ty Smith. So I don't know if he's going to overtake Ty Smith because Ty Smith is who I thought was a star on special teams last year. So he's just going to be one of those people who just be in camp. I don't know if he's going to make the team or not, but he'll be in there battling. He's got a long road ahead of him.
Yeah, he does. So as far as weaknesses, one thing that I saw on the tape, Chris Jackson's definitely more of a zone corner than a man corner. I noticed in coverage, he gives a lot of receivers a lot of respect. And again, Marshall's in Conference USA. So he's not playing against Tyreek Hills and those type of guys. So when you look at that in that regard, he's going to have to learn to man up. He can't sit there and play, play zone all day. They're going to have to play some man coverage. And I noticed on every time he covered, he was going about 7 yards, 8 yards away from the receivers in a competition that's not there, right, in Conference USA. So that's a weakness that I've seen. What about for you, Jacques?
It's the same thing, the competition. You're not going against premier receivers. You're not going against Van Jefferson, Henry Ruggs, these receivers that have speed. So like you said, when you get against Tyreek Hill, you 7 yards off and you make one mistake and you get turned around, it's over. I mean, so I just think it's his competition. Now, something about John Robinson guys, when he drafts them, like I said earlier in the show, and they tend to play a part on the team. They tend to either play a part on special teams, they play a part on defense, or they play a part on offense. LaShawn Sims he was a 5th-round pick too, wasn't he?
Yes, 6th-round pick, actually.
He was a 6th-round pick. We had Kalen Reed at one point in time who got the start when the DBs went down. So that's something, too, that I've noticed about John Robinson. Unlike years in past with the Titans players, we can look at this guy and be like, oh, no, he's not going to start. He'll be gone after the preseason. But the way John is setting it up, he looks at your stats and he looks at a trait, and he looks at his big thing is versatility. If you're versatile, he can use you in all types of ways. He might be the next punt returner. And just looking at him, you're like, okay, he's not a safety. To me, he's too small to be a safety. He's like, what,
Yes.
6 foot? Yeah, 6 foot, 186. That's not a safety.
No, it's not.
You're just going off your height at that point, unless they put a little meat on his bones. But you still have Amani Hooker, who we drafted last year from Iowa, who I honestly think can play the slot, who played the slot at Iowa, but he's still a good safety. So to me, what John is drafting in DBs, he's drafting hybrid players. You can play safety. Hey, we need you at safety. You can play corner. We need you at corner. We need you to play on the outside, inside, slot. We need you everywhere. So, for me, the weakness is competition.
And Jacques, you were right. He was a 5th-round pick. My mistake. But
Okay,
yes. So, Mark, what about for you, man? Some of the weaknesses for Chris Jackson.
Well, I really didn't see much tape on him because he was almost Mr. Irrelevant. So I was kind of turned the draft off by then. But again, when you're a cornerback, there's always an opportunity. It's like my son plays football, I'm gonna tell him to play corner because you just have an opportunity. If not on the field and defense, you got special teams. Like you said, you could put them at safety. You can just do a lot of stuff with corners. So I think that's his chance to make it. Because, like last year, half our secondary got hurt. So we had people, we were just signing people. End of the year, I've got 36. What dude's name?
35, Brock.
35, Brock. We just
Tremaine Brock, yep.
And he was getting major playing time in the playoffs. So he's got a chance.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know much about him, just to be honest.
Okay, no worries. So our NFL comparison is a poor man's Jason McCourty, the way that he covers. That's kind of how McCourty plays as well, kind of played his spot. He's not going to get all in your face, but he plays in enough distance. McCourty's, got speed just like Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson has a lot of speed. So that was our NFL comparison for him.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Can't say it. Like, hey, it's Jason McCourty. Just like you said, his comparison, and he's going to have to fight. Like you said, Mark, he's going to have to fight to get on this team. He's going to have to show – he's going to have to show his value. And that's something – if he can show value on special teams, he'll make the team.
Yeah.
If you don't have no value on special teams, you might not. But, right now, the DBs that we do have on the roster, I think he has a shot. We got, Horton? What's his name? Horton?
Yeah, yes. We just signed him.
Is it Morton or Horton?
I think it's Morton.
Ty Smith.
Yep.
Morton. You lost Logan, which we know Fulton's going to take his spot. You still got Butler. You still got Jackson. But I think you got Kareem Orr, too, who I think was undrafted last year, and he made the team. So we just don't know. There's something that they seen that was special in him. And I think John said they were looking at him for a while, too, and he's been talking to the Titans. So John loves these small school guys, my. But we have a special bonus.
Yes, we do.
Bonus.
Yes, we do.
Undrafted guy. What college he's from? Berry
College in Georgia.
College.
Yep. So the Titans did pick up a few free agents, but we're gonna highlight at least one that we feel that might have an opportunity to make the team, and that's Mason Kinsey, a free agent surprise. Man, Jacques, tell these folks about his stats, man.
So this joker, his stats, his overall stats, and I think he was a 4-year starter. This joker got 3,343 yards and 50 touchdowns, okay?
Yep.
50 touchdowns. Now, he's in Division III. Now, we know the competition is in Division III. But to have stats like that, that's what put him on John Robinson's radar. John Robinson is a humongous stats guy. Now, I can't find no tape on this guy. I've been looking for tape. I've been looking for tape for the past 3 days, and I can't find no tape on him. I'm like, where's the tape on this kid? Where's the tape on this kid? But the stats talk, man. That tells me that he's catching everything that's in his vicinity.
Yep.
His average yards, his average catch rate, his average yards was 16 yards a catch, a yard, bro. 16 yards.
For his career.
For his career, dude.
Yep. 16
yards per catch. 16 yards, man.
Yep.
Not 2, not 5, not 6, but 16. Okay.
Yep.
And the reason why he wasn't on nobody's radar is because he went to Berry College. I mean, I've never heard of Berry College, man.
Me neither, man.
So I'm like, Berry College. I'm like, what is this?
Exactly. And we did a read up on this guy because again we couldn't find anything, no tape on anything. But the read up that we had read upon from a scouting perspective is that he catches everything in sight. And you look at his stats, that has to be true. He has 50 touchdowns. He was averaging like 16 touchdowns a year, like over the last 3 years. Unbelievable how many. I was like, this is incredible. And he has the ability to score. They say when he gets the ball in his hands, he does a great job in breaking tackles and getting in the end zone. He's a pretty good-sized kid at 6'5", 195. Those are some of the things that we read. And even from a weakness standpoint, they said at times beating press coverage could be an issue for him because he doesn't have initial speed up front on the line of scrimmage. He's not really quick on his feet. He can get open based on some of the routes that he runs, but about beating the corner, if the corner's in his face, that'll be a challenge for him. Because, again, he's not going against Lipscomb. He's not going against, I'm trying to think of some other school, Belmont, bro. And they're bigger schools than Berry College. Berry College is not even bigger than the middle school that my kids go to. Exactly. Berry College may have like 300 people at the school. Right. So this is going to be a wide open situation for him. Like, oh, my gosh, this is maybe too much for me. And then, him making the team, it's gonna be slim, but we do feel, he could surprise some people.
Right.
Yep. And then on read-ups as well, they spoke about, Adam Humphries, and even Cooper Kupp. He's that type of a receiver, slot guy that can get a lot of catches and things like that. Playing him off the ball, not so much on the ball where a corner's in front of him.
It's Adam Humphries' clone. John Robinson drafts your clone. That's what he does. Remember, Adam Humphries didn't drop a lot of balls. I mean, when he was in Tampa, that year he was with Tampa, I think he only dropped like 2 balls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, John does some scouting, man. He'll scout under the ground if he needs to. I mean, I didn't know this college existed, and I didn't know who Mason Kinsley was, but now we know.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like Tom Brady, wide receiver.
That's true. Right.
He looks like Tom Brady, a receiver.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you got an opportunity. We don't have a 4th wide receiver. I don't know that the 4th can be another possession type receiver, but
right. Yeah.
We open as a wide receiver.
It is. And Mark, let me tell you something. He chose here. Other teams wanted him to come to camp. He chose to come here.
Wow. See, I didn't know that, Ho.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
He sees an opportunity, huh?
Yep. Right. Yep. That's the positive of being a free agent. When you drafted, you have no control. I mean, if you get drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals, that's where you're going. But if you're a free agent, you're kind of like, well, I ain't going to no Cincinnati. I'm looking at these positions like, okay, this team only has 4 corners. I'm a corner. I'm gonna try to make this 5th role, and let me go ahead and sign here. So yeah. So folks, that's the draft. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna give our end of the draft report card on our next slide. So for me, what I gave the draft itself, you have an option A+, A-, B+, B-. I gave them a B, a strong B, because I do think the positions that we drafted, and John Robinson has done a great job in this. He sees an opportunity of something missing, we're going to draft that, right? It just depends on if I want to draft it as a 1st round, 2nd round, or 3rd round pick. I think all of these players can definitely contribute. I do think Kristian Fulton has the biggest ceiling here next to Isaiah Wilson. But we needed a corner. We needed offensive line help. We got that. We needed a 2nd running back with Derrick Henry, not where he doesn't have to run it so much. Let's get somebody else here. We drafted a running back. We needed some more DBs. We ended up drafting Chris Jackson. So I just think overall, you know, some of the players that we lost in free agents, you know, and some of the trades that have occurred, you know, we did a very good job in gluing certain roles into this draft. What about for you, Jacques?
So for me, I gave it an A. And I was leaning towards a B plus, but him plugging the holes and him getting the players, it was really the Fulton pick that bumped it up to an A. Because you know, first round we needed a DB. We needed a D. And Mark called it, man. He said, I'll tackle. We're gonna get an offensive tackle. He called it. I'm like, okay. Hey. But then when I went back and I kind of reevaluated, I said, you know what, that's right. And as we went through the draft, of course I wanted to get a Duvernay from Texas and certain receivers, but I trust John enough to be like, you know what? He's going to go in here. He's going to find talent. Hell, he found Jayon Brown in the 5th round, and Jayon Brown is starting. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's found certain players here that you like, okay, how did he do that, and how did he know that he was on our radar and when he was on the Titans' radar, but nobody else knew? So something that I give this, and like I said, what really elevated was the Kristian Fulton pick. I really think, like, first of all, LSU, to me, people can argue, is DBU. People say Florida. I get
Texas,
it.
yeah.
Texas, but for the past decade and almost for the past 5, 6, 7 years, if you could say 10, some of the best DBs has come from LSU. And you don't learn traits.
Facts, no paper.
You don't learn traits by just sitting back in the bushes and looking. I'm just saying. So it's one of those things. When they got to Kristian Fulton, I said that elevated. We got Isaiah in the 1st round. I said, we got a monster, and I see why we got him, because we're my first team. And then you get the speedy running back. Remember, we were successful when we had Chris Johnson and Lindale White. What was it? Smash and dash.
Yep.
We need to get back to Thunder, and I mean, they call them Thunder and Lightning. So I want to see what the running back can do, but I still have enough trust in him. And then, like I always said, John Robinson is going to draft your prone. Larrell looks just like Jarrell Casey. I'm looking at him, I'm like, if Jarrell Casey was here, and that one thing that I knocked John for is trading Jarrell for a 7th-round pick. I'm like, you get a 7th-round pick for Jarrell, you can get a 4th round or a 3rd-round pick for him. He has more value than that. But if Jarrell was here, he can mentor Larrell. You can sit Larrell. He's going to play, but he's going to learn a lot from Jarrell Casey. And that's what a lot of players in the locker room said, especially the young rookies, said they learned a lot from Jarrell. So for me, it was an A. And just to see what we got, and I'm excited. Hopefully, football gets played this year. But I'm intrigued, and I'm excited to see what we have and what's going to happen. What about you, Mark?
I'd probably say a B. I can't say an A because I don't see any Pro Bowlers out here.
Okay.
But I can say a B because, to me, we addressed all the needs. So I always thought we had to get a lineman, we had to get DBs, and we had to get another running back, and we addressed all those. And I think definitely 4 out of the 5 are going to make the team and be major contributors, and that's all you can really ask for in a draft class. And and I'm always going to draft Robinson high because his history proves that he knows what he's doing. So, we've had great drafts. So
yeah,
I think it continues.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
all right.
It will.
It will be.
When they get in training camp, man, those battles between Isaiah and Jeffrey Simmons are gonna be interesting. And something too is gonna make them all better. Something I noticed about John is he's all about, hey, the next man is gonna make you better. Taylor Lewan going against Vic Beasley, that's gonna make him better, right?
Yep.
Jeffrey Simmons going against big Isaiah, that's gonna make Isaiah better, right? A.J. Brown going against Kristian Fulton. I told Hawkins, I said, A.J.'s so strong, he going to knock Kristian down and push him back and run all over him. That's going to make him better. You know what I mean? For real, it's going to make him better. So that's something that I like about John. He drafts for, hey, we want the best 53-man roster that's going to compete in practice and on the field. We want the best, however many they go in when they go into training camp, 75, 85, I don't know, but they want the best 75 players on the field to compete. So I like his mentality, and I like how Vrabel has his hands-on approach to coaching. So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this part of the show here, man, Mark, we're going to give you the microphone on this part, bro. As far as overall on the draft analysis and just what you feel about the Titans in general. So what are some of your thoughts, man? We just want to kind of pick your brain a little bit.
Well, again, I should be the GM of the Titans because I did predict the first 4 rounds. I said before the draft started, I said, oh, we're going to get a tackle, we're going to get a corner, a running back, we're going to go D-line 4th. So I think if any Titans front office out there watching the show, I need to call. Overall, the draft was a safe draft. I thought we were really looking for just filling needs that we had holes in. We didn't try to find like a superstar, Pro Bowler kind of player or nothing like that. We really wasn't aggressive with the draft. I actually thought we was going to move up to get a tackle, but that didn't happen. But I think overall it was a good draft. I'm just ready for the season. So I'm still hoping that we get some free agents. But to me, the roster's filling out nicely. I'm expecting big things this year, and this draft just kind of strengthened my thoughts of what we're going to do this year.
Understood. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, we truly appreciate you all tuning in on the draft. This is, what we've been wanting to do. This has been a great. We've had fun, looking at certain players, figuring out how they can fit with the team. And so, we're ready. We can't wait for the season as well, as Mark just alluded to. And we can't wait for the season to start to see how these young guys come in and ball for us, man, because we are a good football team, and we need to put these pieces together and see what we can do. I really believe that we can be a playoff team next year. Kansas City's still there. I do see them. I do see Patrick Mahomes. 15 is the best player in the league. Okay, so definitely in the AFC. I know some people might say Russell Wilson. I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes. So Kansas City's still in the way. I think the AFC South is weaker. So we have our opportunities, but definitely this draft will definitely help us out, man.
And see, with the AFC South here is I think our biggest competition is the Colts. I feel like the Colts have gotten better.
Yes.
The Texans, Jags, that Laviscus pick that the Jags got wasn't a bad pick. It was actually they needed a receiver, but the division is wide open. And do I feel like we got better? I'm with you, Mark. I want to see us sign another free agent. Golden is still out there. We on Clowney watch, which Clowney's just playing games, so he wants his $20 million, and I think he needs to bring that down a little bit. But like I was telling Hawk, just imagine having Vic Beasley, Clowney, Landry, Simmons, Larrell. Imagine just having that D-line. I feel like that'll elevate it a little bit, and that'll make the trade for Darrell Casey. You can justify it then. You see what I'm saying? Because right now it's making John look kind of like, I'll give you the side eye, man. You just traded a leader, not just by his play, but he was a leader in that locker room. You just traded a leader that that he mentors young guys like Larrell that's coming in. So when we got Isaiah, I was like, but I'm excited for it. Let's get the competition going. Of course, we let Conklin go, which I'm like, all right, hey, he's with the Browns, but it goes through Kansas City. And I feel like, to me, we got faster. But I feel like we need to add some more pieces on the D-line. And we didn't even address D-end. We didn't even touch D-end. So that's telling me that, hey, they really want a D-end like a Clowney or a Golden, somebody that can come in here and be impactful day one. So I don't know. We'll see. I still think we can make the playoffs. Hopefully we can make a deeper run. I would have loved to see us get a receiver in the draft, because this draft class was loaded with receivers, like loaded. But like I said, to me, the Kristian Fulton pick actually offsetted that. So I was like, okay, well, we got Kristian Fulton. We got faster on the back end, so somebody that can actually keep up with Tyreek Hill or Sammy Watkins. Because to me, I would love to see him go against Sammy Watkins, because I know he can keep up with Sammy. So for me, hey, we'll see. I'm hoping football gets played this year, but we'll see how it goes with the you know what. So
Yep. So Mark, you have any closing comments you'd like to make before we end the show, sir?
I enjoyed my time here, so thanks for the invite.
Absolutely.
Later.
Absolutely. So folks, that is the show, y'all. We just want to say thank you again for watching the episode of the draft. Again, we're going to continue to keep going. Our next show will be at some point in time next week. We have a lot that we're going to continue to cover before the season starts, whenever that might be. We're going to adjust and everything. And again, we appreciate everyone tuning in on the show.
And like I said, I always say this, but like, share, subscribe. let's get the follows up on Instagram, because we would like to start going live on Instagram, where we can a platform where we can actually go live and just have a discussion with the fans. I know that's something we want to do now, but certain things are stopping that. But let's get the follows up on Instagram. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers, man. We are close. We close. We just need like 100 more subscribers and we good to go. So like I always say, tell your grandmama, your uncle, your cousin, anybody that's a football fan, tell them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you want to give us a contact, you can contact us on email at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com, on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, and on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. So to you and yours, it's your boy Hawk.
And it's your boy Lockdown.
It's your boy Mark over here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll see y'all later to next week, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up.
Yes, sir.
All right, now.
All right. All right. Let me.